And welcome to another stream of What the Tech. I'm Rolando Rosas, and joining me over here in the other Magic Square is Dave Kelly.
The Magic Square. I like it. Hey,
Yeah,
Rolando. How are
hey,
you
how's it
doing, man?
going? I'm doing
Yeah.
fine. You know, it's Friday, and you know what happens on Friday?
This
Tomorrow,
ha-
Saturday.
I was gonna say what the tech happens on
What
Friday.
the Tech, baby? Yes. You know,
I like a
I
good Friday. I like a good
you,
episode. Looking forward to today.
absolutely. And today you know what? I always say we've got a good one, but so far they've all been really good. So I really actually enjoy bringing our audience this type of content. I love chatting with you. Wish we could actually be, I could reach over and actually my hand go, whoop,
Pretty
and you're
soon.
actually on the other side, but it's the magic of what, 400 miles?
Yeah, that sounds about right. From the
Something like,
D.C. area to southern New Hampshire. Yeah, about
yeah.
400 miles.
Yeah, and I hear they're going to do a bullet train at some point, so maybe I could get there in a few hours rather than a whole day trip to get up there.
Hey, we can do some noise canceling tests while you're on that train coming up.
That's right. That's right. That's maybe for another episode.
Yeah.
So let's welcome the audience in. Thank you for joining us today and being part of our stream. We're glad that you joined. And if you're watching and you're in your comfort, your home or somewhere else, sit back, relax. You're in for a good one. If you're drinking coffee, if you're on the East Coast and you're freezing, get something warm. You'll enjoy what we have for you today. So we've got a couple of things in store. We're bringing out a special guest from EPOS, and he'll be
Yes, we
joining us
are.
here in a moment.
Yep.
We've also go ahead, Dave. Go ahead. You gonna say
No,
something?
I'm looking forward to having our guest on today.
Absolutely. It's first time on our show, and we look forward to having him and quizzing him and drilling him down a little bit and getting some of his feedbacks. While we're at it, let's go right into our trivia question for today. Since we are doing, we're working, actually, we're going to show you some Sennheiser slash EPOS solutions today. We thought we'd have a little bit of fun with this one. On the screen, you've got four different artists that are all using Sennheiser microphones. And what we wanted to know was, of these four that we're showing you today, Drake, Bad Bunny, Taylor Swift, and Billie Eilish, which one of these four was the most streamed artist, at least from what Spotify was saying, in 2020? Dave, Dave, do you have any sentimental favorites, or do you know who these people are?
I know who all of those artists are, and I do have my pick. I'm a huge fan of one of those artists, so I will reveal that at the end of the show.
Oh, okay, okay, all right, all right. My one of my favorite is on there, and I'll reveal that also at the end. All right,
All right.
so let's go right into the rest of the show, and let's bring out our special guest. Today we have a gentleman who is at EPOS, and he will tell us if we're pronouncing that correctly. EPOS I don't think it's EPOS or EPOS. Which is Sennheiser. Maybe he could tell us a little bit more about that. That's Scott, and he's been with I'll say Sennheiser slash EPOS for many years. He's a field expert. He's in field sales, but he's an expert in all things headsets and all manner of things that Sennheiser, now EPOS, has been doing over the years. And he's going to contribute to our stream, and he's going to be a really good voice on what we have to say today. So without further ado, let's bring in Scott.
All right,
Hey,
Scott,
Scott.
welcome to our show.
Hey, Scott.
You for
Thanks for
having me.
joining us today.
Thank you.
It looks like you're in the office. Yeah?
I am. I'm the only one in the office. Of course,
So you're super social distanced.
yes, yeah. It's nice. Last year or not last year, just at the end of 2019, we built or leased out a new office with the new brand of EPOS.
How were you guys pronouncing that, by the way?
We actually do say it a little bit differently. Like our colleagues over in Denmark will say EPOS. I say EPOS. No one corrected me or so we're still being very fluid with it.
Okay.
It as a brand goes, still being very young and just trying to work through those the growing of it. So
Can you tell real quickly tell our audience that may not be aware of the sort of transformation that you all are going through here stateside into the EPOS brand? Just explain to folks what is that? What's going on? What's up with that? What the
Yeah.
tech?
No, and that's been something we've been doing a lot over the last year, of course. So in the early 2000s, Sennheiser went in on a 50-50 venture with a larger holdings group called the William Demont Group. They own Oticon, which is one of the top hearing aid manufacturers. So it was kind of two companies coming together with core competencies and transducer technology, software, and miniaturizing it. Right. So we're able to take, the best of what both were doing when it came to microphones, headphones, and, sound processing and hearing aid technology to create a better headset brand. And at the time was known as Sennheiser Communications. And then in 2019, the Demont Group took 100% ownership of that, and then has now formed the EPOS brand to be solely dedicated to the enterprise world with headset speakerphones, as well as the gaming world with gaming headsets. So you'll see for a while it'll be co-branded for a little bit, but then the Sennheiser name will kind of exit the branding on the headsets and other products.
And that's what a lot of companies tend to do when they acquire another one, especially another name. They'll keep both names on for a while to allow folks to know that it's essentially the same thing. So thanks for letting us know a little bit about that. And let me ask you something. Where are you joining us from today?
I am in Old Saybrook, Connecticut.
Okay. So another East Coaster. Okay.
Yep.
Big ups to that New England area. Any favorites on the game that's coming up here in the playoffs?
I have a few. Being a Giants fan myself, we were real hopeful there at the end, and the Philly. So that's been they've been a thorn in our side for years, and will continue to be. So I don't know. After that, I have a lot of friends who are Green Bay fans, and I think I'll just hop on that bandwagon right now.
Go Pack, go! Dum dum da dum dum. Go
Hey.
Pack, go! All right. Well, thank you, Scott, for giving us that little bit of a rundown. So let's jump right into the meat and heart of why folks are joining us today. We're here to show you more than just talk. We're here to show you what you can do with a wireless headset, especially if you're working from home and you're using your computer for Zooming, using Teams, using other apps that are on your computer today, Meet, whatever it is. And a lot of folks now, they've probably been working from home exclusively for the last 10 months, if not longer. And if you're one of those that went in and bought a headset early during the pandemic, then you're probably looking for some other way to work. I think you'll really enjoy what you're about to see, because one of the things, as we get ready to roll some of the footage, one of the things that I have found in talking to other folks and clients and whatnot over the last several months is that they probably went and bought a lower quality headset, right, Dave? And now those same people that are realizing that $30 or $40 headset isn't working so well for them, it's uncomfortable, they're tied to the desk or to the computer, they don't have the freedom to move around, and a wireless headset would probably be the right answer for those folks.
Yeah, exactly. So they're experiencing the benefits of being hands-free, and now they're looking for a way to sound great, be mobile, up their game a little bit. Global Tech Worldwide, we've been doing a lot of promotion on Bluetooth products. Today's going to be a little bit different. This is a different type of technology that we're showing. What we're talking about here it's called DECT. It's a different type of wireless transmission. It's more powerful. You can get more range. You can sound better. And that's what we're demoing today is DECT wireless solutions that you can use on your computer. And the ones that we're doing today with Scott are the EPOS/Sennheiser products.
Right.
Which you can also see in our carousel. If you're joining us on Amazon, you can see some of these products listed down below.
All right, now that's a good point before we jump to the videos. If you're joining us on Amazon, we've got a bunch of products, or we have several products on Amazon right now that you can check out right below me. If you're joining us and you're watching us on one of the other streams, let us know where you're tuning in from. We'll be glad to take your questions while we're on air. And if we're not, if you're watching us during the playback and something struck a chord, drop us a line. We'd love to talk to you and chat with you. So let's go right into the first version. So let's set this up for folks that are watching us as well as hearing us. What you're about to see is a demonstration where we recorded a sound, just audio of just a very short conversation, and wanted to actually show you what your voice sounds like to other people when you're just using your computer. And actually, some people may not have a laptop. They may not have a headset of any kind. So we wanted to give you a real good comparison of what are you going to sound like when you're using one of these wireless headsets, and then what do you sound like when you're not using a wireless headset or any headset for that matter. So Ori, do we have that footage ready? And okay, let me just say this before you roll this footage. If you have headphones, please put those on, because you're going to hear some of the nuances in the sound, and you're going to be able to distinguish a little bit better the differences between the two. If you're watching or hearing us on your mobile device, you may not hear the difference. If you're listening to us on your laptop and those native speakers, you may not notice the difference. So just with that said, go ahead, Ori, roll that footage.
Call using the native microphone on the Lenovo Thinkpad laptop. I'm going to read a short passage so that you can see the difference between this audio versus the audio of the other headsets. To adjust the vertical tilt of the camera mount plate, loosen the vertical tilt handle. Adjust to the desired angle. Tighten the vertical tilt handle.
All right. So that is the native audio on the laptop. Doesn't sound so good.
No.
Sounds like you're 5 feet away. And actually, the laptop that I use is right behind me. I sat right next to it, and it sounds like I'm pretty far away. Right? And so without saying anything about the next clip, I will just let the clip speak for itself. Go ahead, Ori, roll that footage.
Test call with the Sennheiser EPOS SD Pro series. I'm going to read a short passage so that we can compare the difference between this audio recording and another. To adjust the vertical tilt of the camera mount plate. 1. Loosen the vertical tilt handle. 2. Adjust the desired angle. 3. Tighten the vertical tilt handle.
All right. Big difference.
Yeah,
I thought there was a major difference. You know, one of the things that hearing both, now I'm hearing it again for like the third time for me, is that I really don't want, you've been on calls like that, Scott. You're in a much, much larger organization. So when you talk to folks around the world as well, I'm sure you've been on calls with folks that are not part of the organization, as well as some where that first clip is what that conversation sounds like. And it's got to be just horrible to go through that, right?
Yeah, and you can tell it right away, and that's both in and out of the organization. So surprisingly, because they'll forget it to plug something in or something to that effect. But yeah, it's just when you lose that depth of sound by using that internal mic, and so yeah, it's always a pleasure when someone has a better tool for that job.
And so if you're that person and you're listening to us and maybe you haven't gone on and purchased a headset at this point, don't be that guy or gal who doesn't have a hands-free device. And we all got to suffer through that and battle through that and tell you, why don't you put yourself on mute, right? Why don't you let somebody else talk? Or I think, Dave, you said something the other day about something like that?
Yeah, we were joking. Yeah, we were joking where if that was someone that was doing a presentation or a webinar, you just want them to be done. It's like, hurry up, get through what you're doing. Nobody's paying attention. No one ask a question. Get that person out of there. And then that's when someone would raise their hand and type, is a copy of this presentation going to be sent to us after the presentation? Somebody always asks that question during a webinar, which I think is funny. But if they ask during someone using no device and it's poor audio, you are that person. So get a device, help yourself, help others.
I know. I so don't like that. And I'm sure if you're watching or hearing us right now, you can relate to that. So what I want to do is, again, let's show folks what this does. And so now that you have a good comparison of what a wireless headset could do for you and the EPOS headset for you versus nothing, what we want to do, and we get a lot of questions regarding the usage of wireless headsets, is how easy or hard it is. And I think this is where it's going to be a real good topic of discussion for us is, what do you do when you get it? What is it complicated? And I think that for a lot of people who have experienced in the last 9 months usage of a Bluetooth headset and using it with a computer, and this is where I lean in on you, Scott, on this. Folks sometimes have a hard time getting that Bluetooth headset, whether it's an EPOS or anyone for that matter, any type of brand, sometimes to work on a computer because it's not as straightforward. And the DECT solutions takes that all out of the picture. You don't have to worry about pairing or anything like that.
Yeah, it can certainly help remove a few steps, right? So with a Bluetooth headset, you have a pairing procedure that you'll have to go through, whether it's native or if you're using a dongle with it, which, most of the time using a dongle with a Bluetooth headset will absolutely provide better performance. Also depending on the chipset that's inside of that machine. We experience a lot with kind of the corporate deployed laptops don't always have a stellar Bluetooth chipset in them. So the audio performance alone can sometimes, drag you down a little bit. So using a dongle will certainly help. But again, you have multiple steps to go through, is where with DECT, a few of those steps are taken away. So it's a little more plug and play, so to speak, as opposed to a Bluetooth piece.
I'm glad you're going right into our next point of the episode here. We want to show you exactly what Scott just said. So Ori, do we have the part one hooking it up? All right, go ahead and roll it. So you're going to see exactly that, and we can even chat as this part's going through. Is this with audio or no audio?
We're taking a look at the EPOS/Sennheiser SD Pro series. So let's go ahead and get that fired up. So on this particular wireless headset, you'll notice that it has a base station that you can use with it. Comes with, in this style, this is the mono, and we're just going to set that right back on here. And we're going to take the USB cable and plug it into the computer. By the way, we're just running a Windows 10 on the back, in the background here. So we'll notice that a couple of things are happening. Right away you'll see that there's a red, and now it's turned white. There's a couple of things that we could do to change some of how this sequence takes place. But let's go through a few basics. First, you'll notice that you have a blue light telling you that it is charging. And right now it's set on phone mode. This particular model comes with the ability to use a regular telephone, a desk phone, as well as a PC. Now you can change which mode it's in by default, but given that I have both the phone, actual desk phone, and a computer, I tend to use a little bit more of the desk phone. But you can set it so that it's in PC mode or computer mode instead of that, and you can configure that with the software that comes with the companion software that allows you to modify some of the configurations and settings. Another really cool thing here on this model is that you have a battery indicator so that you'll know exactly how much charge you have left down here. This is also something that is very unique to EPOS-Sennheiser, so that you can at a glance take a look at how much battery time you have left on your headset. So you can see on the computer it says Sennheiser DECT, and if you've got a newer version, I've got an older version that I'm showing here, it would say EPOS DECT or EPOS SD Pro. As you can see from the Windows menu, it auto-recognized the Sennheiser DECT headset. No additional work needed on the part of the user for that. And that is the Sennheiser SD Pro.
Oh, all right, Scott, did I get that right, or did I miss a step or two on the setup there? But I just wanted to see what you thought of that.
Yeah, and no, that That's a great way. That's how it should be done. A couple things you'll see from even from that video is that it can be run by a USB cord only.
Yeah, I love that.
In that, so it will power it. There are a couple advantages to using the power cord that it will come with, where we
Okay.
do the quick charge. So like on with that particular model, when you have the AC plugged in 20 minutes, we'll give you 50% charge, and in just under an hour, a full charge. So this way, a lot of folks, they'll dock the headset, go take a lunch break, and they're back to a full day of working. But even if you pick up the headset at 8 a.m. and you don't put it down at all, you'll still get 10 to 12 hours out of it typically. And then if you're using two different source devices for audio, or nowadays kind of just computer usage, you do have the ability to switch. There's other models where you might be just a single or even more connectivity than that too.
All right.
Right.
Well, so you get a lot of battery talk time out of that, and I know from talking all day long, as you probably do as well, Dave, that it comes in handy having a battery that can last you more than a couple of hours, which is what you'll get if you're using some type of Bluetooth device, if you're using an AirPods or some other type of Bluetooth headset.
Yeah, yeah. And what I like about the brands that we carry, including EPOS, is they're using the right batteries, and they're considering people that are working 8+ hours a day. So it's not a toy. It's not 3 or 4 hours. These are solid batteries, and like Scott said, you can do that quick charge. You do a 20-minute charge, you're gonna have 50% or more of battery life. So you're never gonna be left without a device when you're buying the right stuff.
And you know what I like about this, that I've used this headset for quite some time myself. And if you actually look at some of our first episodes on What the Tech, you'll see that this is the actual headset that I was using until we moved to studio mics here. But it's a headset that I've been using because I actually like it. It's very simple to use. Scott, you could jump in and let me know if I'm off here, but it's very straightforward, very easy to use. And as you can see, that model that I've had is several years old. You could probably tell me better than I can how old that is, because I've had it for so long, and it's still working. I haven't had to replace the batteries on that.
Yeah, and that's it's almost great to a fault that the headsets are, we don't do a lot of refreshes on our models. That particular model, the SD Pro, has been around for at least 10 years, I'd say. 7 to 10 years. We had one that was before, it was a little bit different looking, but the same concept, which is actually still around today too. So yeah, we make them to last, and even the warranties on them, 2-year warranty on all of our products across the board. So it's, we'll definitely stand behind it, and no need for the users to really replace anything other than the ear cushion maybe.
Right, and I think if you're looking for a really good investment, the SD Pro is where it's at. I think that, like you said, the 2-year warranty, that's not all companies offer that on a wireless product. Most of them are standard 1 year, a few exceptions sprinkled here and there on specific models, but the across the board 2-year warranty is a good warranty to have, and it's a no hassle warranty. So if something goes wrong, you guys replace it and fix it, or replace it and send the customer on their way. So I really like that about what you guys are doing. So what I want to go to next is and it's even a shorter clip on what do you do once you have it hooked up? What are some of the things on it that you should be looking for as a user when you're using a wireless headset? So do we have that video, Ori? All right, let's roll it. Ready to make calls with the Sennheiser SD Pro. You'll simply just take it off the dock or the base station, and you will see that it will, once you're getting audio in from your PC, it automatically switches over to PC mode, because it's recognizing that the audio is coming from the PC and you should be hearing audio right in your headset. Now you can't see it, but I am getting audio in the headset because I'm listening to it right now. And then once you're done listening or talking, or you're done with your webinar or Zoom chat, you can put it right back in,
And in my case, because I've got it set to the priority being the desk phone mode, it goes initially to desk phone. But if it gets a audio through the PC, it'll switch back over.
So it's super easy to use, super easy to set up. I don't even know if I can't even add to that. Unless Scott, you have something else that I overlooked. But I got to tell you, the battery indicator on the front, it is to me, because I've used a lot of headsets, it is a total game changer, especially because I'm on the phone all day long or on webinars or talking to other clients, and I know exactly what to do. Bloop, and no guessing. No beeping, no. I know exactly. Oh, I'm out of battery. That's why things are going wrong.
And the cool part is that's also real time telemetry too. So there's no like for some models that are out there, you might have to put it back on the dock to see so it can register the battery life or some other form of getting that notification. But for that, it's in real time as you're using it, and you'll see it drop down or gain as it's charging and stuff. So this way you do kind of have a real time sense of where you are battery wise.
Awesome. And so what I want to do as well is we have another headset that we want to show folks is the D10. So this is the D10 USB by EPOS. This is is strictly USB only. The SD Pro has the ability to use it on the computer, and for me, because I still have a hard phone, as you can see right behind me, and I do get calls over IP for that, and I'm able to use that. But on the D10, it's computer only, so you're going to get a lower price point on if that's all you need to do. You don't need the ability to use the phone capability. And Scott, I wanted to ask you about this, because on both the back of the D10 and the SD Pro series, they comes with switches and things and bells and whistles. Let us know what the heck is that? What is that? What are we looking at here?
Yep. So there's a few settings that can be changed, and that's also one of the nice advantages of having DECT models is you can change a few of the features of it. A lot of the times, like for those switches on the back, those little dip switches, you can adjust for your range. So to go from long range or short range, so you can adjust the power. You can go from wideband audio to narrowband audio. Again, you're adjusting the bandwidth that's being occupied. And how that will help you is if you have a contact center, let's say with 200 people and you want to put them all on wireless, you start running into density issues fairly quickly, where essentially with DECT it either works or it doesn't. You won't get static or inconsistent dropouts, things like that. So what you have to do is you have to essentially create space on the highway so more cars can get in, and adjusting those settings will allow you to do so. So you can outfit your several hundred person contact center with wireless, or if you have everyone spread out in an office building. But all those things are just to help the users maintain the usage of them throughout the day.
Oh, and that's a good point so if you're watching us and you manage a call center, or you have a business where eventually we'll all go back to the office at some point, it's a consideration to have when you're talking about wireless or even Bluetooth, is the density. And the D10 as well as the SD Pro both have switches on the back so that you can control essentially the range or how far it broadcasts, so you run into fewer issues when it comes to density if you have exclusively wireless headset being deployed in your call center. Did I get that right, Scott?
Yes. Yes.
And if I can just add, what I
Go
really
ahead.
like about the Sennheiser solution here is that when you're making those settings, you have the physical dip switches. Some other brands, you can do those sort of changes, and you can cut the product, but a lot of them do it with voice prompts, and you have to listen in your ear. So you're holding buttons for a period of time to get into a particular menu setting, and then you're hitting buttons to skip through, and you're listening. I think this is very intuitive in that it's a physical switch, and you know exactly what you're controlling. So
Yeah,
for
there's
me, that's a big win for me.
You're right, Dave, and there's less to go wrong. So you know exactly on some other different wireless headsets, you may have to configure things. Obviously, in this case, you also have the ability to use a PC app that you all have. It's the Is it the Connect Windows for Windows, and what's the other one?
Yeah,
Scott?
it's called EPOS Connect.
EPOS Connect for Windows, and you have the headset. You have the headset set up as well for Mac. You have a Mac version.
Yeah, that's kind of old. We don't really use that anymore. But we will have. We're actually in the process of getting ready to launch our Connect software for Mac or Apple devices. Actually, at the end of this month. Fingers crossed.
Terrific. I like that. We're Mac users here as well. So
Likewise.
And by the way, you can use this on a Mac. I've used it on Mac. I have actually both Windows and Mac, and it works equally well. This one also has the battery indicator on the front, so that you can know exactly where your battery is in terms of life on it. So from 1 to 4, it's just very easy, very intuitive to use. So the next thing that I do want to, I love this part of the show where we actually show folks what it does. So, and it's live, so we're not going to have a second or third take. So what I want to do is, it hopefully works. It works out fine, because it should. No, there shouldn't be any problem. But in case, I'm letting our folks know in the audience, look, it's live. We're going to see how it goes. But it worked during the practice session, so I'm going to give it another try. We're going to take that SD Pro that we saw in the clip. Yeah.
D10.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, we're gonna take the SD Pro on the previous clip, and I'm going to take it out of the dock. I'm gonna get into the stream, and I'm gonna try to walk as far as I can with it, so that you could actually hear what it sounds like, and we'll test out the range. And Scott, you know this. Your marketing folks may put a range of 5,000 feet, and a lot of companies advertise different ranges on different things, but it's a different thing when you're in a lab and the docking station is perfectly straight away and there's line of sight. And it's another thing when you're in somebody's house or in an office where you probably don't get perfect line of sight.
Yeah, line of sight, that's when, and with a lot of the marketing material, so we say 600 feet line of sight. Plus, when you're in an office building, you have to take in the environment, the construction materials. If you're trying to walk through walls that are all metal and 2.5 feet of concrete, it'll vary that range a little bit, just a little bit. But otherwise, like in a house, you won't really see that a lot. So someone working from home these days, they're going to get a pretty solid range out of it for sure.
All right. So while I go ahead and make sure that I'm connected over here on the stream, I'm going to turn it back over to you and Dave. There's a bunch of stuff that you guys can chat about while I set up this wireless headset and come back here into the stream.
All right. So while Rolando has that set up, I thought it was important to show off some of these DECT work-at-home solutions. A lot of folks have been buying the Bluetooth UC products, Sennheiser, EPOS, and other brands.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm finding is a lot of folks are reaching back out to us. They say, hey, we love the product that we bought. We love being wireless, but we're not getting enough range. So then we have this conversation about Bluetooth range, DECT range. And, when we're working at home, range, in my opinion, range is more important at home. We're doing so many other things these days. Yeah, you know what? I will throw in a load of laundry. I will run upstairs. I live in a 3-level home. I do want to go outside. Range, it's important to me. When I'm in the office, maybe not so much, because I'm having private conversations. I don't need to carry my conversation into the hallway. I still like to be wireless, so range isn't as big of a deal. But being able to do the true multitasking, walking away from your desk, getting the mail, doing the laundry, something with the dog, something with the kids, something with the wife.
Mm-hmm.
The Bluetooth headset sometimes can still be a little bit restrictive. And that's why we wanted to do this demo. What we had done is, so Rolando has all this hooking up. I believe he's going to throw on a different camera from his cell phone, and we're going to see what kind of range we have. So hopefully Rolando is still there. Is Rolando still there?
I'm setting up.
Oh,
I'm setting up. I've got the headset. So just give me about another minute and I'm almost done.
All right, excellent. So for the folks that are on Amazon, we are highlighting 3 of these products. We have the D10 USB. Rolando had said that this is dedicated for the PC or USB connection. Just want everyone to know that they do have the D10 phone, which is strictly for the for a phone there. Also, the products that we've highlighted are the SD Pro 1, which is a single ear, and the SD Pro 2. You can all see those on our carousel down below. Again, single ear versus binaural. These particular headsets are in a category called multi-use. So what that means is that you can connect to more than one device. The SD Pro series is 2 devices, which include a PC and computer or desk phone. It's a nice way to protect your investment. If you're working at home and all you have right now is a computer, the SD Pro is certainly something to consider, because when things turn back around and we go back into the office, you might have a desk phone again, and a product like this will carry back into that world. And then when we start readopting soft phones in the office and you lose that desk phone, you've maximized your investment on the headset. The headset's going to last for years. Scott already mentioned about the warranty. It has a 2-year warranty. Commercial products last much longer than consumer grade. You will have it for a very long time. So it's a future-proof type design, because, again, when you get rid of those desk phones later on down the road, this will bring you back into that computer world that we're all getting to know fairly quickly.
Yeah, for sure. It's that definitely been interesting to see the growth of, soft phones at home, and people learning a whole new world of technology that they may not have been exposed to. Pre-pandemic. So it's but it's been good, and it's been great for, I think, the headset business in general.
Sure.
And yes, we're certainly seeing a lot of growth, on both Bluetooth and DECT. You can't really take away the advantages or the convenience of Bluetooth, especially for more than work, right? When you talk about, other consumer devices, if you want to use it with your phone, or like the sports style earbuds, you're going jogging and, you just take another call. But yeah, I agree with you. Having the flexibility of DECT wireless and being able to go to my coffee machine, or, make a sandwich and still be listening in on my meetings and calls has been, and especially spending more time with my kids is great, and still have that flexibility of working too is wonderful.
Yeah, no, it's really nice. And again, just being ergonomic throughout the course of a day is important. All right, so I see that Rolando is all set up over here.
All right, so I see you see me there. I'm going to take this bad boy so you can see me on this. Oh, look at that. Oh. All right, you can see the ceiling. Cool. All right, so you should be getting audio maybe both through this microphone. So, Ori, you can mute my mic on.
All right.
Nope.
Yes.
Are you getting any audio through the... There we go. You should be hearing me. Unmuted? Or not?
Your audio, I think, is pointed to the microphone and not your headset.
I see. Hold on a second.
This is live. This is live television, folks.
Okay. Audio input. Let's go Sennheiser DECT.
Should we have him call the EPOS technical support line?
No.
I have a friend there.
Are we good?
I don't think so, Rolando. I think the microphone is still your audio.
Is on my...
Oh,
There you
here we
go.
go.
Here we go. Is it coming through? Are you getting
Yes.
the...
Now you're on the headset.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. Now we're on the headset. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to walk out the door here, and we're just going to, and I have an idea of how far this can, I think this can go. So the whole thing here is that we're going to try to see, you get the doorbell rings, right? And you got to go grab a package. You're in your home, you're in your home office or whatever. And a lot of times if you're recorded, or even if you're in a laptop and you want to still hear what's going on, you want to be able to walk around. So this is basically what we're going to try to do here, is show you. And I'm just going to position my screen a little better over here on my end so I can see what the heck's going on. All right, so here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to keep walking, and Dave, Scott, you guys can still hear me?
Yeah, we can still
Absolutely.
hear you.
Yeah.
It sounds
Okay,
great. And
cool.
just so everyone knows,
All
he's
right.
not paired up to a cell phone. This
Yes,
headset
this
is
is-
paired up to the base on his laptop.
So let's walk back. so folks can see where that bad boy's at. So let me backtrack a little bit so you can see there should be there's the base that I'm using. I'm going to walk out with it. So I'm going to walk a little slow so you can tell me when, and you can still hear me clearly, right?
Yeah, you
Yes.
sound really good.
Okay, so I'm going to try to walk out the front door. And ding dong, bell rings. All right, I'm going to see. Oh my goodness, it's Amazon Prime. Got my packages on time. All right, so I'm going to open the door. I'm going to walk out the front. All right, so I'm right now probably 40 feet or so away from now obviously there's wind outside, and this is not really Scott, I don't think it's a design so much to be a whole lot of wind blocking, right, than it is to be used inside.
It'll do a fairly decent job. Yeah, it'll do okay.
All right, so
because even now you can tell it died down.
Okay, so I'm about 60 feet out right now. You can see I could have gotten the packages already. I'm out front. You can see the trees, and well, nobody's out at the moment. Look at that. There's somebody selling the house right behind me, so that's kind of cool. Hopefully the value will go up. It says under contract, so hopefully they get a really good bid on it. So I'm about 60 feet. You still hearing me okay?
Yeah, we can hear you. Your video's a little bit choppy, but
yeah, because there's a lot of there's the homes right in front of me here probably are not getting good line of sight to the cell phone, but I hear you okay. So I'm going to actually go further than that.
Now you're starting to
No?
kind of chop out. Yeah.
So I can get about 75 feet, more or less, where I'm at. About 75 feet outside from, and there's a lot of concrete between me and the base station. So that's about, and I could go anywhere up and down the house. I'm not going to do that because I'm just not going to do that today. But what you can see is that we definitely have the ability to walk outside with this. And so if you had to get a package, or you had to step outside for a moment, whether it's your front or backyard, you should be able to do that. I get 75 feet. Maybe in your house you get more. Maybe you get a little bit less. But this has been an actual demo, and I'm going to shoot it right back to you, Dave, back in the studio.
All right. So.
And then I'll come back and we'll wrap it up with the trivia.
Okay. Yeah. So 75 feet, but you know what, Scott? He's around a couple of, you saw him take a couple of turns, went around the bend. He went through his door. He had told me yesterday that that's actually a steel. So he has steel and glass doors. Oh, I know what I wanted to mention. For people that are asking, it has a mute button on the headset. So if you walk away from your desk now, suddenly you can't control your environment, you're mobile. If you need to quickly throw yourself on mute, you just reach up. The mute button's right there. It's just a touch away. Yep. Mute yourself, unmute yourself when you can. But the aspect of being wireless while continuing to work, it seems like such an inexpensive tool to really increase productivity. I think the reward versus cost benefit is certainly there. I think it pays for itself relatively quickly.
Yeah, absolutely, and even and that test is really good. All things considered, especially with construction, a steel door, and there's a lot that those frequencies can still go through to do it. So that's really good showing of what it is capable of. So imagine if you did have a line of sight, or probably even if you left the door open,
right.
Probably would have probably past that white truck that was behind him there for a little bit.
So I have used a D10 in my office for quite a long time, and I have it set where it's on the second floor in my office, and my driveway is probably about 80 yards long. Yes, I have shoveled that by hand, crazy, but I've been able to get all the way to the end of my driveway to check the mail because I don't have insane construction. It's kind of up near a window, and I'm outside, and I have had, I'm sure that's 200 or 300 feet. So for me and my environment, I've had very impressive range.
All right, now I've joined you guys with the sweater gang, and because I had to go outside. And at this time of the year, it's cold.
It's January, folks.
Right. So there you go. You saw the actual thing. And obviously, I couldn't tell what I sounded like, but hopefully, it was coming through all right.
Yeah, no, it was good.
All right, wonderful. So let's. Well, thank you, Scott, for joining us today as we wind up our studio session here, our EPOS session. I actually would love. I had studio in the brain. But I guess we're gonna have to wait for this crazy thing to calm down so we can go in the studio again, Dave.
That's
So,
right.
speaking of studio and studio time, that ties right into our trivia question of the day. So let's put that back up. All right, who of these four artists that you see, Drake, Taylor Swift, Billie Eilish, and Bad Bunny, was Spotify's? And I want you to hold off for it before you reveal the answer. I want to ask Scott. These are all four artists, well-known artists. They're all featured here using essentially your equipment. Which one of these four would you put your money on as being the number one streamed artist of 2020?
I'm split between two, but I'm gonna go. I think my gut feeling was Drake.
Drake. Oh, good guess. Dave?
Hey, listen, shake it off. I'm a Taylor Swift fan.
Well, you know what? Those were not bad guesses, but there's only one that could be the winner. And according to Spotify, Ori, let's reveal the winner. Bad Bunny.
Bad Bunny.
So if you're watching us, Dave and other folks that may not know who Bad Bunny is, he is just the man right now. He is blown up. He's been on Kimmel and Fallon and a whole bunch of others. And he was it a Super Bowl? Maybe this was Super Bowl, this shot here?
Yeah, that was the Super Bowl last year.
Yeah, so he is, and by the way, let me just take a second here. And Bad Bunny, si me estás escuchando, mi niño de 2 años, él es un fanático número 1 de tuyo y quisiera entrevistarte yo aquí en What the Tech cuando tengas tiempo. Si es nada más sea 2, 3, 4 minutos y que vengas. So if the management team or Bad Bunny yourself you're watching, I'd love for you to come on What the Tech. Special invitation to you. Big ups to what you're doing. Arriba los Latinos. So that's it. Scott, do you have any parting words or anything else you'd like to add?
No, thank you guys so much for your time today. It was a pleasure, and hope to be back again soon. This was fun.
All right. Well,
Yeah, thanks for joining us, Scott.
Thanks for joining us today. We'll see you the next time.